Good morning. Welcome to Junk Journal Madness for May of 2025. The theme is grungy, and this is a monthly event that is sponsored by or is hosted by I Totally Love It, Susan over at I Totally Love It, and every month there's a guest collaborator, and this month's collaborator is Tammy over at Lou Frou Frou Studios. And so I haven't gotten very far. I did a couple of videos on the preparation of my cover. So that worked out pretty well. This is pretty stiff and I kind of have to crack it back. But I think that's just testament to the fact that it's going to hold together. If it needs to be manhandled a little bit, then so be it. At least you don't have to be delicate with it. I think I'm going to name this book Ida. She's in here. But, I don't know if you saw in the other video. I didn't point it out. But Ella is also in here. Ella V. Meep, Temperanceville. March 1885. So, I ran across this the other day. It was a kind of a cool greeting card. And, it's a Father's Day card from 1963. So, the feel is there. But don't you think this looks kind of grungy? So, this was on the inside. A smaller version. There's less brown. But I was thinking maybe I could cut or rip that out and have that as part of the whole thing. So then I'm thinking, well, what else can go with it? My go-to is my tea-stained fabric, which is already used to mend the inside. So let's see. I kind of like this detail. This little window eyelet detail. So maybe I'll keep that. And I also think about maybe doing something like that where the eyelets, so maybe I'm not going to use that right now. I don't know. It would definitely strengthen it too. You know what? Maybe I won't do that right now. Okay, so let's see. I do some of this and some of that, and keep it grungy, but also make it a little bit girly. So I'll do that. I think I might have some smaller doilies. Let me see if I do. Look at that one. Yeah. With doilies, it's never just one. This one feels like more than one, but I don't think it is. Yeah, it definitely feels like more than one. I guess because when they're punched out of a stack. There's got to be more than one here. Wonder if the napkin tape trick would work. Here we go. All right. Look how white that used to be before I got a hold of it. Okay. I like that. I like that. So those two things, I don't know how I'm going to cut that yet. Let's see. What if I were to... All right, let me cut this in half. Let's see. I believe I used my scissors yesterday to trim my roses. Let me see if they're out in the garden. I brought them in, but I'm gonna have to clean them up. Just not right now. Okay, so what I'm thinking is the radius of this is not great. So what if I trim it down even more, right? And then maybe also do this. So see, if I glue that down and then have that over it, it'll be like a little nosegay. And I'm kind of feeling like, originally I felt like I wanted to rip it. But I'm feeling like maybe if I fussy cut this, I could have another ripped element behind it. So I'm going to try and fussy cut it. You know, it's supposed to look watercolory, so the fussy cut is not maybe the best effect, but I don't think ripping is great for it either. I'll be back when it's done. Okay, so I did fussy cut this. At first I started being real precise, and then I thought it's going to get spindly. So rather than being spindly, I figured I'm going to distress it anyway. So why not worry about it? So I'm going to just do the edges. I will take off, it's off-white anyway, but it'll mask some of that where I wasn't real close. Do that from top to bottom, you won't see so much of a straight edge, but I do feel like now it doesn't stand out. So let's see. First thing I'm going to do is make this a little skinnier, and then I'm going to raggedy this up a little so there's not so much, doesn't look like it was cut. All right. Okay, now I need something to break that up, and so what I was thinking of was this. This is the same ribbon I used on Rose, on the Rose journal. Okay, find the end. There it is. So what if I had something like this? Maybe, maybe not. Let's see, I also have and you've seen this ribbon before too, so sorry, I have this awful 3-drawer bin that I really hate. Well, maybe I can just reel some ribbon out of it. I could do this. Ooh. Let's see. Do that. Or even I really kind of wanted to keep this whole thing going on here, so let's see what happens if I just do a patch of it. Oh, that's a little different too, right? It's funny, I want it to be brighter, but it is a grungy journal, so I might have to figure out how to embrace that in my head. Yeah, let's try something like that. What I'm going to do, though, is see these two circles? I'm going to cut it there. Well, I'll cut it a little bigger and we'll see. Yeah, okay, so what if we do this? You see that circle? I'm going around it. Right? And then this circle. And cut a little more off. You know, it's got two different edges. I want this edge to be on this side visible. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe like that. All right. And then maybe something off to the one side. Let's see what I have. A leaf, maybe? Let's see. Maybe one down here. And one up here. And I'll cut them. Yeah, okay, so we'll get rid of this much. And we'll get rid of a lot of this. Okay, so I like the leaves because it brightens it up a little, but not a lot. And I think I'm gonna edge them a little bit. And then you see here I covered this up. Now that's where all the grunge is, right there. So I have to, well, how will it look like this? Will it look good? No, you still really don't see it. Let me think on that. I'm gonna get the leaves grunged and placed. I think I'm just on the edge of grunchiness, like with what I'm used to and what I'm willing to do. I know that sounds funny. Oh, is that placed right? That looks like it's placed right. So here, I'm going to just use a little bit of the fabric fuse where you won't see it. So like the ends are going to be fluttering, but it will be anchored. So let's see how that's going to look. Oop. Yeah. Let me try and press that down a little bit. All right. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to lay this one down. I'll be a little bit over here. And again, because it's grungy, it might be a little more forgiving with the construction. And so here I'm thinking, what if I just do just little touches of a doily that has been stained. And maybe if I smatter them in, sometimes when I'm editing, I'll play it back and I'll be like, oh, I should have kept it one way or another. But, you know, then you make another one with all those other wonderful ideas. All right, let's see how this looks. I still feel like it needs a band going down. I think I like that. Let's see. From here. All right, and I've never had art glitter glue, but I think when eventually I do, I think it's going to be a game changer for me. And then, what was I gonna, a little bit of this maybe running through too, so hold on. All right, I think I'm going to press this down, and when it dries, I'll come back and we'll look at it. It's almost there, actually. Hold on. I gotta press it. Hold on. Okay, this was weighed down for a little while. There was something on top of the magazine, but I used the magazine because it has all these different nooks and crannies. Well, that's kind of how it is right now. And again, I do have a story in my head, so this is, you know, not a well-to-do family, and the child is just going around and, you know, if mom's doing some sewing, maybe for somebody who has more money, you know, maybe they're doing some tailoring, and she's taking little snippets that are left behind. to make something beautiful. And you know, if you want to take it so far, this could represent like some dried flowers from out in the field, some dried leaves. So that's a little more on the cover. I think the signatures, the pages for the signatures are going to be very plain because, again, that's kind of like period appropriate with my story. This is what the interior is going to be made of, is just different scraps. Let's see. I do like these ones with the circles. If you're doing coffee or tea dye, while it's still wet, put a stencil on top of it, and that will transfer. This is a little white, but you know, you need a little white to have a little grunge. And this is also not going to be like a huge journal. Let's see. So probably if I cut these in half, yep, I'm going to cut these in half and then I'm going to fold them again. To make my signature. Should I try and do them all at once, or is that asking for trouble? It's probably asking for trouble. So this is 11, so if I cut them in half, that's going to be 5.5, right? Okay, let's see. I don't have my paper bell because it kept getting in the way. I'll have to see. One thing is, this is a mat cutter. This is an old mat cutter that I found, so it can handle a little bit more thickness. Went up a little on the end. All right. So now if I take these and fold them in half and alternate them. A lot of these already have like edges that are not raggedy, but like a little bit cracked. So that will be fitting. So here's a repeat. Okay, so what I'm thinking is the first page should probably be a little bit sturdy feeling to go up against some of this resistance that's here. Okay. So I might need to trim it a little, which is unfortunate because some of the grunge definitely hangs out at the edge, but that's okay. Let's do this. Let's do a really light one, a medium one, a super grunge. Ooh, look at that. Let's do that. Maybe this one should go first. Switch these two. So here we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 folded in half is 8 times 2 sides. That's 16 pages, 16 sides. I'm going to make it a little more than that. Let's see. It really kind of sucks that the edges are going to be cut. Or maybe I can get it in a little further. Yeah, maybe. Oh, that might work. That's 16. So let's keep going. Let's see how we feel about it. I like that one. And again, another thick one for the middle, because if I'm going to be sticking a thread through it, I want it to be strong enough. So let's see. And then how about we do something with a doily. Doily. I have small doilies, I have big doilies. These big doilies are big. So let's do this. Here's my height. I'll do one there, maybe small enough to be a pocket, maybe. And this could be an automatic tuck spot. And then I'll do another one coming down. I'm not sure what I'll do with that. Okay, let's take a look. I'm going to jam it in here. I think I'm going to just leave it with the pieces hanging out as part of the grunge. I might even batter it a little bit. Not with batter, but with distressing. Sand it a little bit maybe. Okay, so just practicality wise, there's a little bit of this hanging off. And just give it a little smoosh. A little smoosh. Okay, so okay, so something to think about. If I sew this, so this is self-contained, could I then take more strips of fabric? Because these are not going anywhere. And then I won't need to burst through the spine. I actually think I'm going to do that. I don't know if it will impede. It might just impede just the first page. I think I'm going to do that. Okay. So now, what I'm going to use to bind that is some of this. Embroidery yarn, crewel yarn, I guess. All right, now. All right. All right, so again, not getting too concerned about everything being exactly even. I'm going to eyeball it. As soon as I get my yarn unknotted. Now this is 3 strands. I'm just going to use one. I'm going to make a needle. yarn, squish it in the wire, trying to really compress the wire a bit. I think that's pretty good. Let's see. I think you're supposed to go like 2 or 3 times your length. 1, 2, 3. Okay. I'm going to poke 3 holes. This one's the middle. Okay. Go down through the middle. I'll keep some out. Clamp it over here. Okay. Come up through the top hole. Oh, sorry. Oh. I think my battery might be going. My camera looks like it's on energy saver. Down here. Right. That's right. And back up. When you come back up, you make sure that you're on the opposite side of that first string. Now this paper is pretty white, so it's wanting to like bow when I pull it. So we'll just make sure that doesn't happen. I'm going to leave this long enough. I feel like a kid, young girl would kind of make a bow out of that. So we'll see. So that's that. All right. So I'm going to really jam it in when I tape it. Well, not tape, but fabric. Right. So let's figure that out. We'll cut a piece of this, maybe the piece with the purple on it. Right. So you can tell it was something back in the day. I'm not going to do enough for 2. Front and back. So I'm going to put this in here. And Mod Podge it. Is that what I did last time? I think so. Hold on. That's better. Okay. I'm going to use my little special, this is my new favorite, my makeup sponge. All right, so let's do a strip here. A strip here. Right. Let's get that jammed in. It's gonna pretty much come out clear, so I guess I can't go too far wrong, like by putting too much. Famous last words. All right, so that's kind of how I want it, but I need to open it up and get it podged a little more. More podge. So I got it on the one side. Let's get it on the trying to make sure I'm kind of even that way. You've probably seen my hair and everything else in the way. All right, let's see. Oh, there's a little bit of paint on there. That's kind of cool. All right, now I'm just going to take a paintbrush and really get it in there because I don't want there to be any problems where it's going to crease or, you know, crack or not want to open or anything. So I'm trying to make that a really good, like, working hinge. Okay, I'm going to let that one dry before I do the other one. And I think I'm going to just kind of prop it. Going to do this so it doesn't want to bounce back. I got paper in my mouth. Okay, I think that's pretty good. We'll see if it works well and I come back and check. I might just go ahead and do the other side. So I'm going to call it a day on this one. Try and clean up my desk a little bit, and when we come back, this whole thing will probably be mounted in here already. Have a great day.